Growing up, I didn't believe in God. And what I saw from people claiming to be God's people confirmed my unbelief. As a teenager, I began writing to disprove God's existence. But I didn't share these writings. I had a feeling they shouldn't be shared. I didn't begin attending church until 2012 when I started dating Heather. I went at first to appease her, but after a while I began seeking for myself. We were in a small group, and when I told everyone where I stood, a man in our group said, "Faith is a choice you make. It's not just something you feel." But I was holding out for a faith that I felt, and after years of seeking, it still hadn't come. So I started lying, telling people I believed when it wasn't true. I lied to people in this church, I lied to my wife, and I lied to myself. It was easier to lie than to talk or even think about my unbelief. I tried to avoid introspection, focusing instead on others. In 2017, out of desperation, I asked for prayer for the first time. Someone close to me was very ill, and during the Sunday service, I asked Pastor Bill to pray over them, and as he did, I wept. I felt hopeless. But then they got better. Sometimes we are blind to our own brokenness until we break a little more. The crack gets wider, and then we can see. I was blind to my brokenness until the spring of 2020. COVID had just hit. I was trying to endure stress from work and a family crisis. I was in mental anguish for days, and I felt it the moment my brokenness, this crack in me, split open into a gaping chasm. I fell to the floor and my mind entered psychosis. It was though I passed through a door and I started experiencing intense paranoia. I was being attacked by fear. Fear had always been there since I was a child, but now it was greatly amplified. And for 6 days straight, I could not sleep. The fear was all-consuming and I could not fight it off. On Tuesday, April 28th, in the eye of my storm, my psychotic episode, I was lying in a heap on my living room floor when something extraordinary happened. God found me, I found him, and I believed. For me, faith came like a bolt of lightning. It was both a choice and a feeling, the feeling I had been holding out for, and it struck me to the very core. In an instant, the fear was gone, and it was replaced by God's overwhelming love. I then heard voices saying, "Jesus is coming," and I had a vision that I am just a messenger. It's scary to see a person you care about in a psychotic state. My family rushed me to a hospital, which then transferred me to a mental hospital, and I stayed there for 8 days. But the entire time I was at that hospital, God was revealing things to me. He showed me how wrong I was. What I had written trying to disprove him, I was wrong. He showed me that how people behave is not a reflection upon him, which I never could grasp as an unbeliever. But most of all, he showed me how much he loved me. In addition to faith, I now have a psychiatrist and a therapist. I've described to them in detail everything that transpired throughout my psychotic episode. My therapist said, "This never happens." People don't remember all the details of their psychotic episodes. I believe God was holding my mind together even as I was falling apart. Like he was telling me, "You will not forget what I have done for you." I talked to Pastor Bill about the message, Jesus is coming, and I now believe it has a dual meaning. First, Jesus is returning, and soon. But it also means Jesus is coming to me. And on April 28th, 2020, the year of perfect vision, Jesus came to me, found me where I was, broken down and scared, and he saved and restored me. And the vision I had is equally true. I am a messenger, as we all are. I can't contain this desire to tell everyone about Jesus and what he's done for me, so I must share. This is my testimony.